Okay, this is the last one I'm going to do for today, but this is going to be about reputation. When somebody trying to ruin your reputation, anything as far as your reputation. So I'm going to go 4 ways with this. So let's see all of the signs. We got the Cancer. Let me think who else though. We got the Cancer. Who else? Let me think a little bit. I don't know that sign though. I have no idea what that one is or what. I don't know all the signs for it. I do know the Cancer is one of them. I just don't know all of them. So if it go with you, just take it. So let's just flow. So we're going to go with people trying to ruin your reputation, right? So if you go with any of these that I'm getting ready to say, just take it as your own, right? And I'm going to do a storyline behind each one I say, right? I'm going to try to be short and sweet. I'm going to try to be short and sweet. So let's just flow with the first one. Which one is the first one, Lord? Let me think for a minute. Okay. So the first one is, I really don't know a sign for it though, but if it go with you, take it. The first one is when you're dealing with somebody, we dealing with somebody who, it don't matter who it is. I don't know who it is for you, right? You dealing with somebody, whoever it is. No, you ain't just, you can dealing with somebody. Let's just flow with your family. Let's just put it with family. You dealing with your family, right? A family member, right? Of yours. And a family member broke up with the family member's wife, right? And they was having marital problems probably already. But the family member is trying to blame you for the marriage breaking up, right? Now the family member's wife don't know you, right? So if the family member see you with the husband, they don't know you are a relative. You trying to explain you're a relative, but the person don't seem to believe it because they never met you in their life. So if the fussing and fussing happens so much where some kind of way, it gets to where they break up. Now, we already know common sense says these people have problems already because there's no way it should have even got like that unless, something was wrong with your marriage already. What kind of wife or husband you got on your hands? So we got that one right there. Okay? So we're going to leave it at that for right now and let God just give me a number 16 jumping out. So this going to go with that one for whoever. Anybody going through anything like that? You got a family member, whoever it might be, a family member that tried to accuse you of breaking up their marriage, really, because because they already had problems already, and their wife don't know you or husband don't know you, and they seem to think you're another woman, but really you just a family member they never met, and they fuss so much where they done broke up about it, but really, we already know that they already had marital problems because. Who's going to break up from something like that? It makes no sense. But people always want to scapegoat. They always want to try to blame somebody else for their problems, right? Okay, let's just play universe. Let's just try to get this done real fast. So this is for anybody that's anything that's like that. So I don't know the sign for it though. That's the thing. I have no idea what the sign is. I have no idea what the sign is, universe. I have no idea. I don't know what the sign is. Oh, they noisy, I meant to say, for people who don't look at me, okay? So just go what you take it. Because you're dealing with a family member who try to mess up your reputation by saying that you broke their marriage up when you didn't do anything but just was there talking to your relative and the wife came in or the husband came in or came around or whatever, and they don't know who you are, so they think you're another woman or another man. Get what I'm saying? So anybody with common sense will know them people had problems already. And your relative want to go around and tell people that you broke up their marriage when really he just know he had a sour marriage, or his marriage was messed up already from him cheating or whatever he must have been doing, evidently. But you got to use a scapegoat and try to use somebody, blame it on somebody else instead of just telling the truth. You was a cheater. You wasn't a good husband. Get what I'm saying? Okay, that's it. So we have right here that somebody's gift seeking, right? But somebody needed to filter it, because somebody who's proud of you, right? Because somebody is wonderful. So somebody didn't want to come up to today's time, right? Right. Somebody was hiding something. They was in their emotions. As far as this situation, needed to read the Bible. Follow me? Okay, because it was a secret that your cousin know, right? Your cousin knew. Your cousin got some kind of secret. Follow me? So we have right here that he was antsy, or she was antsy, or whoever at a place, whatever place it was, because it's a secret, right? If you change your identity, well, it's work with your twin. So your cousin, your relative, or whoever this is, relative, it's a relative. Your relative was like either gay, changed their identity, actual sexual identity, or something, anything like that. Or you just started to clash. Because remember, your relative got antsy at a place because your relative saw your relative's husband or wife saw you with your relative standing somewhere. Follow me? So we have right here that your cousin is the common denominator in this thing, because your cousin like to have fun. Follow me? Jet setting, and it's juicy, right? Okay, when was you going to tell me about this about yourself, right? I wouldn't have known this about you, right? Because it says that somebody, since your relative already married, we just going to say that your relative was a married person. Okay, and your relative was ready to love his wife or husband the right way. Okay, but was going to talk to somebody like a counselor or somebody, maybe to fix things, because your loved one needed a checkmate for a peace treaty, or a peace treaty for a checkmate, because your loved one, your relative was trying to get along, or your loved one's spouse, because one of them was seeking help for a rape, because we got a secret, so your loved one was raped some kind of way. We're dealing with a foreigner in a beautiful state. Or if not your loved one, your loved one's spouse, somebody. So we here right here doing some thinking in solitude. Wanted candy-coated enjoyment, wanted caring or anything like that. So we have right here that your loved one need to save some money, because did your loved one love his wife, or did she love her wife or husband or whoever? Because that mean the person stepping out with this card, because they did some stepping out. Already had problems, but try to blame you for it. Okay, I'm ready. So I guess your loved one's wife decided she ready. She wasn't taking it no more, because your loved one's wife, husband, or whoever saw you and thought you was another woman. Follow me? Said, I'm ready. No more. Because it says right here that your loved one was achy and it varied, or your loved one's wife or husband, right, during the time, because one of them was raped before, one of them. Okay. Your loved one, or the wife, whichever one, or husband, or whoever this is, spouse, said, well done, so smart. So we have your loved one was karma plagued, but God wanted you to be strong, because God wanted you to save your energy for the future, because you was dealing with a Virgo or a Sage, or somebody act like a Virgo or a Sage, right? Because your loved one's spouse was a ticking time bomb at the time, thinking you was another woman or another man, because your loved one was a cheater. Follow me? What are you anxious about? Because your loved one temporarily abused your loved one's power by blaming you because your loved one marriage ended, because your loved one was a cheater. So instead of your loved one saying, I was a cheater and that's why my wife left me or husband left me, your loved one decided to blame it on you because your loved one, wife or husband, was fussing about you because they didn't know who you was, so they thought you was like another woman or man. Your loved one chose. As far as the campground, that means your loved one had to leave. So we have right here that power stays with the wife or the husband. Follow me? And your loved one was jerking you around. This usually another woman card, but I gotta put it with you because you the relative and you got put in the position of being like some other person when really you just a relative. But to the lady, if it's a wife or a husband, they think you're another woman or another man. They don't know you're a relative. But your loved one was jerking you around. And jerking you around mean put out rumors that you broke up the marriage. Okay, we have right here, you eating meat with sauce with your loved one. But you had to soup it up for a speedy recovery that your loved one did this to you. You thought your loved one would give you loving treatment, but your loved one didn't. Okay, so we have right here that do you really believe what you hear? So do your family believe everything they hear and what all they heard as far as what your loved one said? Okay. Do you know and believe as far as God and having faith? The next one is God wanted you to go ahead and just begin your life because your loved one at the time, you decided you weren't going to bow down to your loved one anymore. As far as bowing down or caring about what your loved one even said anymore, right? You wasn't even going to deal with your loved one anymore. You was done. So we have right here, your loved one was going to be seeing a lawyer or your loved one's spouse because the person finished with your loved one being a cheater, right? So it says right here, you had to see what God says that you are, and you are wonderful, God says, because something come from way back with your loved one. Right? Your loved one was a cheater, and so when his wife or her husband saw them with you somewhere, just in some place wherever you was at, they thought you was just another man or another woman. They didn't know you was family because they never met you. Follow me? So we have right here that your loved one was chewing on the idea of going somewhere, maybe a hotel, motel, or whatever, somewhere. If not that, a counseling place or somewhere. So we have daily life make people rethink and think of the things that they have forgotten and they need to change. Are you molded to a religion? So your loved one was molded to a religion, raised in a religion some kind of way. But is your loved one leaders that his God or her God? That wouldn't mean the pastors or anything like that. So it's easy to go and it's easy if you blame somebody else and tell the pastor somebody else helped break your marriage up instead of telling the pastor, oh, I cheated on my wife. Oh yeah, somebody went and caused problems for me and my wife. Now we broke up, instead of telling the pastor, oh, I cheated on my wife. Get what I'm saying? Because you molded to the religion and you don't want it to be where you look bad in the religion because you molded to a religion. Okay? But your person's spouse needed to filter it back then. Because at that time period, your wife thought, or your husband thought you was gift seeking, going after another woman or man. Follow me? Because it's something you did on a regular basis, so your wife or your husband thought that you was out with somebody, because that's what something you usually do. So, yeah, person don't know nothing about that's your relative. They never met that person before in their life. So that's a lie for they concerned, even though it is your real relative, they just haven't met the person before. But instead of you like coming clean, so you got raped before. So your loved one got raped before. or your loved one's spouse got raped before. I really feel your loved one does. So it's like the person sit there and they like rather instead of tell the truth on what happened and say that you wasn't a good husband or a good wife, you decided to blame it on the other person and say that, oh yeah, they broke my marriage up. Okay? So yeah. So this is the first one, so I'm going to do another one.